A big day and a beautiful day for a huge occasion at Geelong. The locals delighted as the 2011 flag unfurled. And when the game got underway, the Cats had the breeze and kicked the early one. But the Tigers were far from disgraced, running the ball well into the breeze and giving their forwards a chance. Joel Selwood kicked one to give the Cats an advantage at quarter time by 12 points. But they improved in the second quarter, Geelong. Steve Motlop showed his prowess as the magic seemed to return. Richmond struggling with the breeze, but in the third term, into it again, suddenly they got going, putting a challenge up to the Cats. Grigg helping out Martin, and then it got tough for a while. Chapman kicking a crucial goal for Geelong, who seemed to steady, but two late goals for Richmond, keeping them in the hunt. Jackson's goal particularly good. They may rue the late one from Steve Motlop, which gives the Cats a 12-point advantage as we get ready for the final term. Richmond, though, to come home with the breeze, which hasn't always been a good thing when you look at that, as the amount of goals kicked into the breeze has been more significant than the other end. 10-4-64 to 7-10-52. The man who has the players' comfort level down there and can tell us what's going to happen in the last quarter is Liam Pickering.
Players' comfort level, pretty windy. Richmond was certainly a 2 or 3 goal advantage in this last quarter, but we saw in the second quarter they weren't able to kick a goal at all, just the 5 points. So the win won't do it for them. What will do it is if they work the same effort, I should say, as they put in for that third quarter. So I thought they dominated Geelong around the stoppages, around the clearances, and basically outworked the Cats. So if they can keep that intensity coming into this last quarter, a massive chance here, the Tigers.
Correct way, because they've won the contested possessions 122 to 103. They've smashed them in the clearances 36 to 25. Inside 50s, they've had more scoring shots, but it's basically been conversion in the end. They've had 17 scoring shots to 14. It's just that Geelong have kicked 10 goals for.
Absolutely. Very important first few minutes. The Tigers dominated possession in that third term, and the man we saw on screen just before, Jack Riewoldt, he'll be integral to the Tigers if they're going to win this game. And it might take just one mark, but he needs to contest well and just be a real target with the breeze.
I think it's set up for Jack Riewoldt. He's continually try and lead, and Lonergan's been all over him, but this could be the quarter.
So here we go. Tigers have got to overcome 12 points in this premiership team, Geelong, to see if they can come up with a famous victory. Chapman spreading it wide. Selwood had to wait a while, a little uncomfortable with the breeze as it is, but he's able to take it successfully. And back to Bartel. Nice little switch up and change up for the Cats. Dumps it back for Enright. So they've configured this pretty well, Geelong. Mackie on a bit of a run. Wobbles one to the square. Gives everyone a look at it. Podsiadly, not the second bite though. Alice decides to bounce. And Grigg, who's been a thorn in the side, he's had 26 disposals after this kick.
Well done from Ellis. He wanted to blaze away straight away, but assessed the situation. Jimmy Bartel was set up behind the ball and just hit up a really nice pass in the end to Grigg. So good work from the young defender.
Another 12 contested possessions from Tuck. That's a little bit of a dangerous kick because it's ended up in the middle with Geelong working through the corridor. Joel Corey amongst those getting clean bowled. Now Taylor gets a second chance, and so too Corey. Motlop waiting, maybe just too fancy there, Steve Motlop.
Yeah, he tried to take on the tackler. He had his premiership teammate on his outside in Paul Chapman, needed to give it first time.
Piggers, has Geelong activated their sub?
They have. Jesse Stringer's come on for the Cats, and Hall Smith has been subbed.
21-year-old from Port Adelaide, Jesse Stringer. Gets his opportunity.
Yeah, he'll be a bit fresh legs into the game. Now, Spud, at three-quarter time, can you imagine Damien Hardwick has spoken to his players about not panicking, don't just blaze away, have patience and hit up targets?
And don't go into your shell.
Yep.
And then just don't blaze away. Try and use the run with hands.
Jackson kicks to half forward. It'll be interesting to see who plays in the forward line for Richmond in this last term. Cochin's there at the moment.
Martin.
Got it into Martin. Well, there you go.
Well, he's going.
And he's in the impossible pocket, and he was just too quick with the kick.
Well, a couple of his teammates in ball were really disappointed, but there was two really good contested marks from Martin and Cochin. Unfortunately, they've turned it over, and they could get hurt the other way.
So Guthrie came away with it, and there's Selwood. So they're using the angles pretty well, switching from one side to the other. Enright up to half forward, and Motlop's loose again. He loves a bit of liberty, but this time he's made a few mistakes today. At times he turns it on, at others he just can't quite get it right. 18 disposals for Stephen Motlop.
Been an exciting player, but he's just thrown that one straight over the boundary line, lost the handle on it, and that was perceived pressure on that occasion from Delidio.
West feeding it down for Jackson. And Selwood, he discovered the ball was still in. So West obliges. Hawkins playing from behind, but he got there eventually. Taylor Hunt, opportunity for Stokes. Did well to keep it alive. Johnson couldn't quite. Alice, he still might though, Steve Johnson. And then again, he might not. Cochin. Oh, he took on too much.
Tackle.
Oh, he's pinged him
Well,
through as well.
it was a perfect tackle as he turned, Stevie J. That was just a magnificent tackle. If he had have just dropped his knees, he would have went into the back of Cochin. We'll just see here, Cochin get the ball. See Stevie J bearing down on him and then just turns in the tackle. That is the perfect tackle.
Yeah, this will be the real interesting how he kicks for this. We've seen him go off the line and snap a few of these ones.
He takes...
Oh, what about
was
that? That's a different one out of the trick bag.
Try explaining that one, Stevie. Alice works it back for Grigg. Another big
Shank,
thumper.
that's what it was.
Up to the wing.
I think he's trying to hit a target.
Revolt. Taylor feeding it through. Guthrie and now Mackie. Tigers had more jumpers there, more numbers. Morris couldn't. Stokes. Hawkins makes his lead, but well done, Morris. He followed up superbly, really.
He's been impressive, Morris.
Yeah, he'll have a go for you.
They're out here, the
no
Tigers.
doubt. Here he is, Morris adrift on the wing, and Delidio. Some power running, no, one of those spearing balls. Oh, it was in for Martin, and Gillies gets back to save the day for the Cats.
Just the ability to hit a target. They hit a target there. Miller's running towards the goal on his own.
There's Jono's kick. He's going to hit someone up on
Having his
45.
eyes looking left.
Who's he going for? Was the trainer or the runner?
That was
I think?
Stokes in the end. When the ball went out, I had a look at Stevie J and he looked at Stokesy to say, where were you? Because it worked for Chapman in the third quarter.
Jackson, Martin, holding the ball, or it was.
Yeah, tackling pressures right up for both teams. Certainly the Cats. That were turnovers from dropping the ball free kicks.
So the margin is 12.
They've got to lock it in now. Got to set up this zone. Marich is behind the ball.
Jackson. Chapman approaches. Locks it in.
Thanks, guys. Closest lead in, both grabbed at the same time.
Well, if it stays a bit of a stalemate for a while, I mean, the margin's certainly close enough for a late goal or two. With the conditions as they are, wind making it tricky, who knows what might happen. Fluky stuff. Mackie couldn't quite take the grab. Gillies, White. Oh, that's it. Richmond free.
It is just on that far side of the ground where they've struggled to kick goals. It is pretty much straight in front, but it seems to be affected by the breeze with this kick, certainly from this range.
So Matthew White, as we said, was the sub today, has come into the game and run around full of energy. It's a huge kick for him.
Has to be right of centre.
Well, it's right of centre. How far right? It's come back beautifully. The advantage of sitting back and watching from the bench and knowing what you have to do. Matthew White delivers a huge blow for Richmond early in the last quarter, silencing the crowd and reducing the margin to 6.
Well, there's a small portion of the crowd up and about, and they're all Tiger supporters. It's deafening here at the moment. They are in stunned silence, the Geelong people coming here to the game, the unfurling of the flag. You just sense the next 5 minutes, the Tigers, they are right in this game. They are up and about. It's Geelong at the moment with all the mental pressure.
It absolutely is. I'm not sure whether he meant to have it that far out to the right, but no, good work, good tackle. The tackle before that was Jack Rewell, which is once again a really good sign that he's trying to do the defensive work, and the offensive stuff will come.
Just outworking Geelong at the moment, Richmond, all across the ground.
It's up again. Marriage this time gets the tap. First onto it, Martin and Selwood. Christensen, Tuck. Momentarily held without it. Wave done by the umpire. There's Stringer.
He's in trouble.
He's strung.
Oh,
No, high tackle.
I tell you, I don't think the umpire was going to make that decision to start with. It was a late decision.
Subbed on at three-quarter time, Jesse.
Here he is with his first kick in AFL footy.
Well, they've got to spread the Geelong forwards there. Hawkins and Podsiadly 2 metres apart. Mate, it's so easy for the Richmond defence.
Batchelor.
Especially when you're undersized, you're very comfortable in that situation.
Finds Grigg, who's up to 27 disposals for the afternoon.
He's a couple of big weeks.
Well, he's become a ball magnet for the Tigers. He keeps getting under opposition's guards because you look at Deledio, Martin, Tuck.
Well, there is Deledio. This is a big time for him. He zigged and zagged to get himself clear. Down towards Cochin. Nahas waiting. If it hits the carpet, it doesn't. Guthrie brings it away for Geelong. Stringer trying to find it. He can't. Foley can. And again, it didn't count on Joel Selwood.
Tackle.
Brilliant resilience shown by both players, really. But the Cats getting it forward. Here's Rance. Hawkins with a big tackle.
You can see Bartel and Selwood are really lifting Bartel and Selwood, the leaders for Geelong.
Mackie and Johnson running free into the 50.
They sense the situation here at the moment, Bartel and Selwood.
Yes, it's an urgent one as far as, well, both sides are concerned. Johnson, oh, he's drawn a free.
He dropped the mark.
Well, what would he do here, Stevie J? He knew that the last entry wasn't great to Stoke, so he'll be looking around. What the Richmond defence need to be aware of now, that
pass.
He will look to a short pass. There's no way known he can score a goal from there, you would think. He's kicking straight into the breeze.
He probably looked to go long and then just pull the kick. And he's pulled it, top of the goal square.
Top of the square, Hawkins. Vickery did dig in hard for the Tigers. Tuck, Conker, Newman. Again, they start to run. Hard for Ellis here. Beaten to the punch. Once, twice. Christensen is down and out.
Yeah, I think the umpire was blindsided then in his defence.
Yeah, Christensen was.
It was head high.
Yeah. Nahas to half forward. Huge ball to be won here. It falls for Martin.
Composure.
Bartel's gone back to his goalkeeper position for the Cats on the last line. It's a legging, an advantage. Steve Johnson's trying to control the situation. Sets it up for Hawkins. Cats are one down, so Tigers have an extra man out there. They need to use the numbers to their advantage. Legged again.
Christensen, he's still in the hands of the trainers, Hutto.
Play on. Newman takes it. They've got to use this numerical advantage while they can, the Tigers. Hooley can go solo out at half forward.
They need to get Christensen off or call for the stretcher, either or.
Goes short to Cochin, which is wise enough. Now, the next one is all important from here. Foley decides to go it alone. It's up in the breeze. The element's playing a part. It's there. It's home. And it's level.
Yeah, great work from Richmond. I think Geelong are a little bit unlucky at the other end of the ground with Alan Christensen, but he's come from the ground. But they've worked really hard in this quarter. And the Tigers have dominated possession. They're leading the possession count, and they've used the ball much better. Here's the initial contact. The initial contact on Christensen's the second in, and that is a shoulder into the right-hand side of Christensen's head. And Chris Scott not happy with that decision at all, as he might be, because the transfer of players gone to the other end, and as Hutto called, quite rightly, the Cats were outnumbered, and the Tigers had the +1 in the forward half, and they've maximised that.
Well, it was an accidental hit. It was definitely a free kick there. The umpire, unfortunately, was blindsided, but it was an accidental hit to the head to Christensen.
And what about those Tiger fans, those 200 or so Tiger fans that are here at the City End? They are cheering for dear life down there. What a story for them. Scores level. Stokes takes it to half forward. Can't help but think this man's going to be pivotal, Steve Johnson. Again, he can't quite get it right. Stringer. Oh, what a tackle he's laid. Now he's going to have a huge kick, Jesse Stringer.
He's been good when he's come on. He's looked quite lively. And he's going to line up here for his first goal in AFL football. Good tackle. Didn't go too high and has dragged his opponent to ground. It's a nice work here. And Jackson has got to stand on the mark and just hope that this one fades away to the right. Tough kick still.
It'll take his best, Litchy. That's one thing Geelong have done well this quarter. They haven't had the ball, but they've tackled really well.
A couple of years of disappointment with injury. That can all fade away for Jesse Stringer. If he can will this one home. Oh, it was honing in on the post. And it just slips through for a behind.
Well, the goal umpire said it come through for a point before it was touched or hit the post.
Signal.
So a little bit of confusion from both teams there. But that looked like it was perfect position to actually fade back off the breeze.
Yeah, it's hit the post.
Just glanced it. So that's what Geelong lead by. 1. Basher Hooley lives up to his name and just thumps it out to the wing. Marriage couldn't take it. Cochin didn't call it a fumble, but he just didn't quite take it cleanly. Jackson, that's out of the full.
Just composure now. They've got the situation, Richmond, to win this game of football. They've just got to keep their cool.
Yeah, and that means no silly free kicks. They've got to just work their way through it, as do Geelong.
Oh, tense times here at Simmons Stadium. Hunt finds his namesake.
He just knows Stevie Johnson or Jimmy Bartell are going to get involved here late and influence this result.
And here's Stevie J. Again, gets it to Selwood. Confronted. That's too hard.
No, he was very unlucky there, James, because Selwood slipped.
Yeah, and he lets fly to the
Good
top of
kick,
the square.
good kick.
Good depth on the kick. Stringer was there again, but Podsy Adley came charging out. Well done by Reece Conker.
Well, it was by Conker. I'd ask the question of Podsy Adley, did he go straight at the ball?
Now Jackson's turn as the fortunes are reversed to win the free. Martin, that tough old handball to Morris. He didn't care. Put the head down on the bottom up. Like the charging bull coming through Martin. Nothing can get in his way. He's still going. Martin at half forward. Could he dig deep and have another go? No, it's Foley who guides the pass to Revolt, and Mackie was onto that. It's up for grabs. Bartell, Taylor, Enright. Cats come away. Motlop, will he press go? Yes, he will. Stringer in the middle. Went to ground. Gave it back to Motlop. Has a little glance to the
Christian
left.
just on the ground.
Christensen comes off stage left and lands a telling behind.
That would have been the coaching move of the year, that one, Hutto.
Just slipped on the ground when the ball was in transition off half back and found some space. But what a contest. Some great work from Martin off the ball, and he just has come from the ground to have a bit of a spell, and away they go again, the Tigers.
Oh, thriving on the contest, both sides, and the crowd enthralled. Conker's kick and misfire onto the wing. Enright quickly to Chapman, and they go with the momentum into Duncan. Now, how are they going to find a path to goal? Mitch Duncan. Hawkins is deep, but he's got two Tigers to contend with, so he decides to take another avenue.
Got Guthrie out here in the wing.
Taylor handballs, though. Gillies just has to kick. He sets it up. Pretty even numbers, really, so that's a chance for Hawkins.
Well done,
off the pack. Christensen, he's got up again and kicked the goal.
Oh, that's fantastic from the youngster. Just about KO'd 5 minutes ago. Comes on the ground, missed a shot at goal, and then got the perfect front and square. The Richmond defence have been outstanding today, but that is a magnificent bit of play. The confidence you've learned from this, great effort from the Richmond defence. Have a look at the front and square, great courage to do that. It's good play, Lynchy.
Oh, it was fantastic play, as you said. Well and truly dazed. His opponent, Morris, was pretty much with him, very close to being smothered off the boot, but a nice goal from one of the young stars in the AFL, Alan Christensen, and they just stretch this lead out a little now to 8 points. Plenty of time for both teams.
It's good stuff. Last quarter, 2 goals to Richmond, 1-2 to the Cats. 8 points between them. Cochin to respond for Richmond. Enright forced his way to the front. That left the spot out the back. Lonergan filled it first. Revolt waits. It's over and out.
Good work from Lonergan. Just got off his man and kept the ball in front. And as all professional defenders can do, just get the ball over the line.
West, Marich, Nahas, Corey.
Down the full.
Yep. So Tyrone Vickery looking, darting eyes.
Great play.
Yep.
That is magnificent play. Could have blazed away and thought, where's one of our better ball users? There he is, Brett Deledio, 30 metres inside.
Straight behind this one, Pickers. It'd be straight at the middle of the goals, I would have thought.
Yeah, wind seems to have dropped too, so it shouldn't be any problem for Brett Deledio from here, and a crucial kick.
Oh, it's a big one, isn't it, as you said. Young man, he's already a life member of Richmond, past the 150 game mark. Kick of a leader required here. Tough in the elements, but unfortunately that's not where he wanted to head.
I thought he tried to kick the cover off that one.
Not a bad result.
Well, it's better than a behind.
It's a Geelong defence under massive pressure here. They'll get extra numbers around this stoppage here, Geelong. What Richmond need to do is isolate and separate.
Marich got it down. Cochin, Foley, Revolt. Still waiting.
They just need to spread out a couple of Tigers here. Even walk your direct opponent into the goal square, because you're not going to allow a Richmond player to be free in the goal square. Just open it up a little bit. Give the Cochin and these players a chance to get to work.
Miller and Enright back in the square. Marich and West. Corey. There is not an inch of room in there. And Selwood got rolled over.
Now I think they'll be looking for a third man up here now, the Tigers. They just need to clear it out into some space. let Delidio or Cochin.
Yeah, you just got to
Tuck
clear
just
this
off the
congestion, even if it's to the goal square, and have someone hit the goal square at pace.
Everyone wants to be a ruckman. Jackson wants to be a goal kicker.
touched
Was it
off the
touched?
boot.
It was.
Could be a vital touch. Just a few metres out.
He's had a good last quarter. Daniel Jackson, 7 disposals. Corey Enright, great play.
Didn't get a lot of it.
Got enough though.
He did.
You're only going to get a fingernail.
Yeah, but sometimes the umpires can't see those.
Must have heard the snick. Mackie
That's got to be a free kick.
has to do it from Nahas.
Well, he was going to mark it anyway, Mackie. And what it's done, it allowed Richmond to get back behind the ball now.
I've blown time on, okay?
Mackie doing his shoes up.
And just gives time for both ruckmen to come over to this side, about 55 metres away. Both Trent West and Ivan Maric.
Play on!
And Mackie decides to go down the line in their direction. West gets to the front. Taylor's in the mix, but Maric had the best read on it. Taylor found a way out. Hawkins. Back it went to West. There was never any room for that. Foley. He was able to run a full arc there. Delidio got the hands free when he needed to. Tuck kicked in haste, but it might be okay. No, Corey Enright.
That's magnificent reading of the play, Corey Enright. He knew the ball under pressure was going to Rewalt and just played off Brad Miller. Miller had to hold him out. Rewalt was just about to run onto that ball.
And that's a clean kick. Clean connection for Josh Hunt. Where to next for Geelong? Their margin of advantage is 7 points. 6 minutes remaining. Big kick to Hawkins. Looked likely for a moment. They've been flying a lot against each other, the big Geelong players, though, haven't they? Selwood tries to find some room for himself. Steve Johnson did not see that coming.
Well done.
He did well to get it away, though. Stringer got it to Christensen. The young fella is at it again. Stringer, the 21-year-old former Port Adelaide SANFL player. What a time to come on for your first game.
He's shown some poise.
Yeah, he has.
He wore the tackle there.
Showing some real life and zip.
There's plenty of faith in him. He's had 2 years of injury, as we said, but
He's had the 4 disposals this quarter.
here's Newman. And we're
Couple of tackles.
down now to 5:44.
And the Cats have won 29 of their last 30 games here at Simmons Stadium. And Richmond, they've had a shocking record against the Cats over the years.
Well, the last 7 appearances, their average losing margin, the Tigers, 69 points.
Yeah, that's fairly ordinary.
14 out of the last 15, Geelong have had it over the Tigers.
Well, they're well and truly in this game.
Your players caused it just as much.
Now it's 5:36, so it's inch by inch stuff at the moment, in every sense of the words. Over the top, Cochin and Chapman. Hard man to get past. Brute strength on display again from Paul Chapman. Gillies just launches it. Again they come. Podzieli, there's a bit going on off the ball there. Podzieli couldn't get to the mark. That's to the credit of the Tigers. Well done Morris, well done Hooley, and Delidio too. It opened up for him. But Geelong have the extra numbers here at half-back.
Oh, well done, Miller.
Miller, though, oblivious to that. Bartel, a hard man to get past. Willed himself on with 1, 2 and 3 efforts. Hooley came the other way. Great stuff, stirring stuff here. They go and go again.
Well done then,
Corey kicks to centre half forward. Hawkins, Podzieli, couldn't quite. He kept on coming. Chapman put the head down. The Tigers won't be moved either.
Oh, Jimmy Bartel, Hutto, that was just unbelievable. They were away. It was 3-on-1. Have a look at Jimmy here. You can see the Tigers run towards goal there. Conker and Matty White.
And again,
just
third effort.
desperation. That was fantastic.
He just finds a way when it doesn't seem humanly possible.
That's what you say about getting an arm in. That's all he did there.
Hawkins to Morris. Podzieli. If it gets out, who knows what's going to happen here. Joel Corey might know. Trying to orchestrate something. Hooley, strong at it, sliding in Conker. Make sure it didn't get sucked underneath him. Now Hawkins will wrap it up. They'll appeal for holding the ball, but it certainly won't be there. It's a ball up, 4:26 to go.
Still plenty of time.
There is, but it's getting to that stage for Richmond, isn't it, where they certainly can't afford to concede one.
Be careful of the third up jumper. Richmond have got to be aware that Geelong will look to get a third up.
There is Selwood.
Got it down. Grimes. There's no escape from there.
Tommy Hawkins just off the back of the pack here with his hands on his knees. Will he be just the big tomahawk, get that fist on it now with his great vertical leap?
Stevie Johnson is loitering. He'll get on the move here, and he'll be looking for the first receiver off the third up jumper.
Newman's watching him, but Johnson goes to the other side of the stoppage. We'll see whether he makes his move now. Does it fall in his direction?
Great tap,
No,
Hawkins.
instead it went to Christensen, who just handballed in hope. And in the end, it's going to fall Richmond's way, Greg. West was there to crunch him. Chapman again, he will not be denied in this last quarter. It's Taylor Hunt with the release kick. Now, look how far Steve Johnson's pushed forward, but it bounces.
Yeah, good result for Geelong.
Yeah,
a boundary throw in the forward pocket.
Disappointing result for Richmond too.
Well, Richmond near got to drag this one over the back. Got to risk it now.
Marich knows that. Grimes, Johnson, Podsiadly. It's another ball up. Time is the biggest enemy now of the Tigers.
Yeah, they've shut this down.
Well,
Geelong, they've just got big numbers around here, not allowing any space for Richmond to run out.
And Geelong is setting up the wall too, Alistair. So what Richmond cannot do is just blaze away. They've got the extra player behind the ball.
Podsiadly with a big left. Out to Duncan. And he misses.
This is a good result for the Tigers.
Yeah, well, that was the third up jump down to Duncan, snap. But Richmond, as you said, have got possession. So it's just what they need.
It means they need 2 goals though now. That's
Well, it won't be a draw. That's what
I
it
think
won't be.
Cooley will probably want to play on and use it long.
or short.
Or they've got to be better play on. They've got to move it on now.
So Batchelor hemmed in and
risky.
goes for Newman. Too risky as it turned out. Up for grabs. Morris. Gee, you don't envy that situation for Richmond. Batchelor, can he find a way out? He can. Rance.
Oh, they're away.
They
Look at
are.
Miller.
They're through to Conker.
And
Miller is the
Vickery.
next step. They've just got. Oh, they had to get it moving at all costs. They couldn't. The interception from Enright.
Unbelievable, Enright. He saved the goal
Yeah.
3 minutes ago, and then that smother, I think that's just about saved in the game because they had three
Players forward of
players,
the ball.
Richmond.
Yep, absolutely.
One more clean possession and it was a goal. Chapman goes across to young Stringer. What'll he do? He takes the moment on, goes in with confidence.
That would have
Kicks
been it.
are behind. And that gives Richmond a chance.
Absolutely, still gives them a chance once again, get possession back. And they've got to look to, if they pass the ball short here, they've got to be able to move it on quickly.
What about the courage of Corey Enright to come off his man Miller,
Absolutely.
who was running towards the Richmond goal? That's great courage to be able to intercept that.
Oh, Tom Hawkins goes up and takes a big mark with a thundering response.
Well, they're doing everything right at the moment.
Yeah, he'll probably
The
go
Cats.
outside to Bartel and try to soak up a bit of time.
He's telling the umpire, I'm going to have a shot for goal, I reckon, so he can try and use his full time.
Oh, he should be able to as well.
I don't think he's any. Anyway, he passes it well to West. Took the pace off it. Oh, boy, West would like to have another chance of that one. Morris came through.
Just too desperate at the moment,
Steve
Geelong.
Johnson smothered. It just hasn't clicked for him today.
Well, those 50-50 balls, Pickers, Richmond are winning those for 3.5 quarters. Geelong have lifted.
And it's been their senior experience, Geelong players as well, Spud.
Yeah, Sell with 7, Stevie J with 7, Corey Enright with 7.
Hawkins got it down. And this all suits Geelong. It comes out, and that might help the Richmond cause. Bartel and Conker. And Bartel just locks it under in there, so it's a ball up. 2 minutes and 5.
Still time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of have to, though, isn't it? Now
And I think
for
Richmond need to spread.
roll the dice, spread a
Yeah,
bit.
even from this stoppage,
Yep.
Hutto, just push forward.
Yep.
Because the Geelong defenders will have to go with them. The numbers around the contest is really suiting Geelong at the moment.
Grigg slapped it clear. Oh, again, it was Bartel to Chapman. Stringer. The ball following around in this quarter. And that's not going to help. It's a ball up.
Well,
So
on that
a couple
occasion-
of Richmond half forwards now just need to sprint towards the right of screen just to open up the stoppage because they need to kick goals. If
Yep.
they don't kick a goal, they don't win. So they need to roll the dice right now.
It's man on man ahead of them, isn't it?
Yeah, well, here they need to make it a 7-on-10. Pull 3 players out and run the risk.
Yep.
West buffeted his way through. And again, this just suits Geelong. Joel Corey. Here's Stringer again.
Had it on a string.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
Mackey out to Taylor. Low ball to half forward. Duncan, was it a free? It was.
Yeah, clumsy.
Yeah, tired legs, but they did appear clumsy. And Mitch Duncan will use all the seconds he's allocated. This is to Taylor. Into the pocket. Podsiadly, been a tough day for him. All Rance. Went for the spoil. Got it down to Morris.
Very
It's
good,
all
Rance.
or nothing now for the Tigers. Here's Rance
Have they got time?
backing out. 1:17. It's time for them to kick 1 goal. Oh, maybe not
Well
now.
done again.
And the wise old heads of the Cats have just been too strong when it's counted in the last
Well,
quarter.
those Smothers, Joel Corey, Corey Enright twice. I know that Chris Scott, They still haven't won the game, but he'll be showing the senior players have lifted in this last quarter. Paul Chapman, who's been quite the start of the year, has had 8 disposals in this last quarter. I know he's kicked the 2 goals, but he's lifted. Harry Taylor, Selwood, Stevie Johnson. Of course, Enright's 2 smothers.
So he's had 7 disposals in this quarter. He's found it tough today to provide his magic. And again, it's just not quite there for Stevie J today. But the time that's elapsed in all of that means that Geelong, barring a miracle now, are home.
Yeah, well, he's the old-fashioned torp down the middle, you would have thought. Just hit and hope, see what happens.
Has to go down the middle. Went to himself instead. Takes on Podsy Adderley. Maybe regrets that now. Now they have to go. Went back behind the mark. Stretches the handball out. They've got to half back to Morris. And then out to the wing. They're working the angles well. Rance has to go. Got to get it in there. They need a goal and then get the centre bounce and get it out again. Big Marriage. Lumbering. And I don't think he can quite get there. There's 11 seconds.
Well, it's a great result for Geelong.
Oh, they've been really tested today. Chris Scott will be slightly relieved because they were outplayed in certain stages of the games, namely in the first quarter and the third quarters, but they've responded.
Well, in the end, all that matters for Geelong is they have won the 4 points. And they have. Boy, did it take some work. Richmond really took it up to the reigning premiers today, but they're smiling at Simmons Stadium. They're out on their feet, the players. The Cats win by 10 points.
Yeah, great effort, and they were challenged. Richmond came down with a lot of confidence that they actually could challenge the Cats, but they were short odds favourites, but some of their big stars stood up at the right time to get them over the line, and that is an impressive win.